Hey, all you horror slasher bloody gore fans out there. This is the first episode of Cinema Cut Cast. We're going to talk about all kind of things that are horror. I'm your host, Tyler, and with me also is
Tyler Schumacher, and we're not crazy, we promise. We just doing really the bloodier things in life.
Awesome. And we're just two guys who like horror movies, and we just want to sit down and talk about it. And apparently the dog likes horror movies.
Mr. Suggins loves the horror movies.
He's the slasher man. But yeah, we're just gonna cover all the things that we enjoy when it comes to these horror movies, and whether it's the way it was filmed, the effects, the story, the whole nine yards.
Soundtrack, anything.
So first off, we're gonna tell you a little bit about ourselves, so you can so we can bring you into our world. Like we said, we're not crazy. We promise.
Exactly.
My name is Tyler Suggs. I'm currently a film student at Full Sail. I am a host of another podcast, The Furious Fancast. Check us out. It's where I like to geek out about stuff. You know, Star Wars, Star Trek, all that fun stuff. Batman, Spider-Man. That's a whole nother story. But also, we've got my co-host.
I'm Tyler Schumacher, and I'm from the band Crescent Moon. And I'm a full-time musician, and I love horror movies. It's just something that's always been a really big passion of mine, and my music has a lot to do.
Speaking of passion, don't you have quite the collection?
Yes, I do.
Tell us about that, man. Tell us what got you into collecting.
Collecting, I really have a fascination with Tim Burton's film style, because I used to go to this school that co-host Tyler here used to go to, or still goes to, and I have a really fascination with that type of filmmaking, with kind of the gothic art, you know what I mean? And I've always loved his films since before I can remember how to even remember. I remember growing up with his films like Beetlejuice, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and Nightmare Before Christmas, of course.
Speaking of Beetlejuice, what do you think about the rumors of a second Beetlejuice?
Oh, I'm so excited.
You
man. I am so excited because I also heard some rumors about it, of them trying to get some of the original cast members back. And
I believe I read that somewhere as well.
I think it would be a great idea. Even Burton stuff now. Frankenweenie comes out this Tuesday, and with his movies lately, with as Dark Shadows also, they're just fantastic films. But I just really can't wait, because Beetlejuice 2 is just really something. I think everybody that's a fan of Beetlejuice is just always secretly want it. I really love it if they went into his character a little bit more about a backstory. You know what I mean?
Yes, you're going to be picking up Frankenweenie, right?
Oh, of course, and Blu-ray 3D also. Yeah, January 8th. I'm so excited to actually be able to see it on Blu-ray. I've been dying to see the Blu-ray release of it.
So, since you're a huge, bloody, gory horror fan,
yes,
I know this is probably the one question you want to avoid. What is your favorite horror movie?
Oh my god. Oh man. You've really got me.
I can even let you go down to a whole series.
A whole series?
Yeah, if you could just pick one series, or one director, or one specific subject in the horror genre, who or what would it be?
One director, in the horror genre, I guess. Oh man, that's a doozy, man. Horror director per se. I guess with the earliest films I've seen, I guess I would go with somebody like Joe Dante. He made the original Piranha, and he made the movie The Howling, and also movies like Gremlins, and there's a couple other ones out there. And it's I really grew up kind of watching the creature features and stuff, and as soon as I seen Piranha, the 1970s version, that really kind of sparked something. Especially when I seen The Howling. Also, that really has got to be one of my favorite werewolf movies of all time. And besides Silver Bullet, it's just he's really, and the way he does his movies, especially also with Gremlins, is like he knows how to blend horror with almost kind of comfort family movie. But yeah, that's really one. But favorite horror movie? Oh my. I might actually have to come back to that one, man. Because there's many horror movies that I've seen.
Well, to go on, let's you've been telling me a lot about the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah.
Now I've heard a lot of things from a lot of people, from both sides, that it was great, it was wonderful, but also on how it didn't do the franchise justice or the story justice. How would you rate overall right now? First off, 1 to 10.
1 to 10.
How about we do this? We'll make up our own scale. We'll call it what do you want to call it? On a scale from 1 to 10 blood splats?
Yeah, blood splats, I guess. On a 1 to 10 scale.
How about a scale of 1 to 10 hatchets?
Hatchets.
How many hatchets do you give this new movie?
And hatchets being in violence-wise?
Yeah. 1 being Gremlins, I don't know. 10 being like Rob Zombie,
Devil's Rejects, almost.
just like a 1 to 10 scale, but we're going to call them hatchets.
And okay, I would give it about a 5 because it was very gruesome. Yes, like it was awesome gruesome, but like especially because I got to see the film in the 3D, and we actually went opening night. How
was that?
It was incredible. Everybody stood up and clapped, actually. And we actually went in there with kind of a low expectation because I've seen every one of the spinoffs, and it's just they just kept going and going and going. And with the remakes also by Michael Bay, and I went into the theater really kind of blind with it. I was like, it's not a remake. It's not a blend from the remake from Michael Bay and the spinoff they did with the beginning for the Michael Bay's version. But I went in there blind, and actually I grew up watching the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and the way when we went in the theater just with the opening credits, it was to me it felt like a true sequel. Like I mean with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and when it had came out, it was really cool and like with the family but with this one, it feels like it kind of gave it a little bit of justice because
my number one question: how was the 3D?
The 3D was
was it necessary?
No, it
could it have been enjoyed without the 3D glasses?
Yes, of course. But
so if someone goes and they don't want to pay that extra fee to see in 3D, they're still going to enjoy the movie regardless.
But there's parts in the movie that are made really for 3D moments, and that chainsaw actually does come out, so it's pretty cool.
Kind of like was it kind of like My Bloody Valentine?
Yeah.
Was it 3D like that?
Yes.
Cheesy but awesome.
It wasn't really too cheesy. It was just it almost felt necessary. Because
it was so it played well with it. Then?
Yes.
Sounds good.
But but out of hatchets, I would give it about a 4 or 5. I mean, it was gruesome, but it had a lot of story there also. But
so overall, as a movie in general, how many hatchets do you give it?
But the one thing I have to say before I get to rate it is it had the typical, it was almost like a 20 year later like plot, you know what I mean? But it was kind of a typical cast, like just it really, we went in thinking it was like, okay, we know who's gonna die, in its exact order, but it kind of flips on its head and then completely changes as a movie. So it's very, very entertaining. But as a movie overall, I would give it a solid. I'd give it a solid 8.
8.
Hatchets.
So definitely one that it's worth seeing in theaters.
If you're a really fan of the series and you've seen and yes, if you want to see something that's like, I mean, with the Michael Bay remakes, it's a completely different story. It's completely different. So, if you enjoyed the first original one, I mean, don't be expecting to get the best like the original. You know, go in thinking almost like a sequel. You know.
Okay.
Definitely.
So now that you've got our opinion on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, we're gonna go ahead and review a couple movies from 2012 that really piqued our interest, and one of those is Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods, man.
And to be honest with you, it took me 2 times to watch it to get into it.
Really?
Yeah, because I went into it blind, which was probably my mistake. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And then when what happened, it was
yeah, kind of just like WTF. But
should we say spoiler alert right now?
Yes, definitely spoiler alert.
Yeah, we have to make sure we tell everyone spoiler alert because we don't want anyone getting upset.
Yeah, I'd be just like bummed out.
If you haven't seen this movie yet, then it's your own fault.
It's very original. I really like. There's the typical, you know. It was like the college kids go to a house, you know, in the woods. You know, basic cabin in the woods.
Seeing Thor in there without his hair.
But yeah, it was very original. I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. It was a very fun horror movie, and they brought a lot of aspects out of it, and they brought a lot of different monsters from different films. So, if you really like a different horror movie and want to see a lot of genre favorites, definitely check this out.
Of all the monsters they had there, what do you feel about the choice they made with the monsters they went with?
The monsters,
redneck zombies, redneck zombie family.
Yeah, spoiler alert in this one too. So. Yeah, with the redneck zombie, I really wish, honestly, it would have been werewolves.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been perfect. But with the amount of stuff that they put in there with the monsters, wise, and different things, there was really some stuff in there that was just really funny.
I think the funniest part of the whole movie, though, was when the unicorn comes running out of the elevator and stabs the guy in the chest with his horn. Like, if unicorns existed, that's how I'd want them to act.
Exactly. It was awesome. Yeah. There's a clown, you know, the merman, you know. It was very, very enjoyable. The ending of it was just a really good, cool, really different plot twist, like, especially when it had to deal with almost like mythology type of stuff. So it was really different. It was really awesome. But if you haven't checked it out, really check it out.
Yeah, definitely. And I love how they still had the merman.
Yes, they actually showed him. Yes, I was very happy.
That guy who wanted the merman, he got his merman.
He actually got his wish, man.
So how do you feel the visuals of the movie?
Of Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah. I love the scene where he takes the dirt bike and he tries to jump.
Yeah,
the gap.
Spoiler alert.
Well, they pretty much from now on we're gonna be talking about the movie, so
yeah, basically
you might just want to keep fast forwarding through this, or just pause it, go watch the movie, and pick right back up where you left off.
Exactly.
And then take that, leave it on our Facebook, and let us know what your opinions on what we talk about during the show. But anyway,
to me. Like, I love the scene where they're in the cube and the werewolf is just black and you can just hear the growls and it just pops up. Like,
yeah.
That was so awesome.
Would you say a movie like that would produce a sequel?
No.
No.
No. Yes. Well, if they wanted to do a prequel, because in the movie they actually said that half the other people's failed too. Oh, that's why they were the last ones. Like all their other tests were,
So maybe tell a story from one of the other places.
Exactly. That would be. I would actually maybe enjoy that movie. I would really like.
It would have a happier ending.
Yeah, it would because
all those other places
survived all the stuff. So
yeah,
it'd be a really good movie. Hopefully, if they made it right and had the right production.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And I love how they went with the typical horror stereotypes, but making it with a new kind of twist.
Yes, exactly.
How they
very new.
Disperse those chemicals into the house.
Yeah. And
the only one who was immune to it was the guy who was smoking pot the entire movie.
Exactly. That's what I really liked about it too. It's like it was a movie for everybody. It made the stoner almost a hero. You know, it's funny.
And the coffee mug bong. Don't forget that.
Yes, that was genius. That was genius.
But yeah, how they had the stereotypes of each character planned out.
Exactly. Almost every horror movie, everybody's standard of what a horror movie. Movies I grew up with, you know, Friday 13th, saw those, you know, they always have, you know, the teenage.
And the fact of how it's, I mean, the story itself, the fact that they choose how they are murdered.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It was pretty different. It was pretty cool, though.
So, what would you give it?
Hatchets, I would give it, let's see. Violent Hatchets, I'd give it.
Overall,
I'd
give it a 7.
I would give it a 7 also.
Yeah, so. But, speaking of, since you are a fan of werewolves.
Yes, very big fan of werewolves. I believe I've witnessed werewolves before.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. That's for another time. But keep on.
Another day, another story.
Yes, exactly.
We're going to move on to Underworld Awakening. I personally haven't had a chance. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm upset at myself. But tell us about it. Like, let us know how it was.
I actually got to see this film in IMAX 3D right when it came out theatrical.
Well, first off, because everyone's going to want to know, is it worth 3D?
Definitely worth the 3D.
Definitely, okay.
And it's also out on Blu-ray 3D now, and I actually picked up a copy of that, and it's just as nice as it was in the theater. But it was definitely a great sequel. I mean, it was another sequel that it picked up right where 2 left off. I mean, it was a really great movie. It was almost an opening to a new series, and like I'm really waiting for another one too. But this is a movie definitely.
So you think it's a must own?
Yeah, if you're a really fan of the series, yes, it's definitely a must own.
Yeah, what if people had to have seen the other ones though to understand the story?
No, they really recapped it very well in the beginning of the film. They really knew what they were doing. They were taking they decided, I guess, to take the series into a different direction, and it really, I like it almost as much as I do the originals. It's just a complete new start of a whole new series, but also in a sequel. It was really good. But definitely, this is a movie to go get. If you pick up or rent, definitely see it if you've seen the other ones. And also, for a werewolf movie, it's really entertaining, and the plot story, spoiler alert. I mean, I'm not going to really put a big spoiler in it, but I'm going to say the plot of it is, the plot of the film is human beings finding out there's such thing as werewolves and vampires, lycans and vampires, and they decide to eradicate them, just completely wipe them out, and it picks up from this whole new different different world almost. It was a very good film, so if you see it in the store, rent it or pick it up. I mean, I really would put it prime in my collection of werewolf movies. It definitely fulfills my need for werewolf.
Do you think it's one that could turn some that haven't seen it at all into true fans?
Of course, definitely, in a heartbeat. I mean, it was great to me. And Hatchet points, I would give it a good solid. I would give it a solid 8.
Yeah, I definitely need to check that out then.
Definitely check it out. If you haven't checked it out, I would recommend. If you're especially a werewolf or vampire fan, definitely check it out.
And the next one, I know we've seen.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil Retribution.
Oh yeah, that in 3D was
It
ridiculous.
actually
made me.
A lot of people it got really great responses, really bad responses because it's nothing to do with the game. You know what I mean? It has qualities of the game, characters, but it really has nothing to do with the games. And a lot of people don't like them because of that. It's like you really have to take the movie from a different. You just gotta. It's nothing like the game. You know what I mean? It was actually very good in 3D. Like it was really made for 3D. Like especially when I actually got to check it out also in the IMAX 3D, and it really satisfied the need for it. It really, really popped out. But definitely.
So, what do you give it overall?
Out of Hatchets, I would give this one, being as it cut off from Afterlife. This is definitely one you really need to see Afterlife really before you start to watch this one to really make sense. It's definitely a sequel from Afterlife. So, Hatchet wise, I would give it a solid 7.
And the last one we're going to go over for 2012 is one that I was very satisfied with. Very satisfied with. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
3D was
it was
incredible for it. But yeah, this movie,
just the trailer itself. I don't read books that often.
Yeah.
The trailer got me so hyped up that I went ahead and read the book prior to the movie.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to actually read the book. But the film was great. Like, I really liked it. I've heard that there's a lot of differences between the book and the film, but...
Well, just, it goes so in depth in the story. They even created a new fighting style for this movie.
Yeah.
Mixing martial arts with an axe.
It was incredible. It was visually almost breathtaking. It was very beautiful.
And worth the 3D.
Definitely. It was very worth the 3D. And they actually have the Blu-ray 3D actually available in Blu-ray and DVD. But definitely, this is one, if you haven't seen, definitely pick up. And vampire fans will also love this, as well as historical fans as well.
It ain't none of that sparkling shit.
Yeah, no, it's no sparkling vampires, we promise you. But
it's definitely, it's a must-have for the collection.
Yes.
I would say.
Yes, I would.
Just to see Abe Lincoln kicking ass, taking names, man. It was just
vampires.
It was awesome, man.
It was amazing. And Hatchets, I would definitely give this a 9.
A 9.
A 9.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree with you.
And in violence-wise and Hatchets, I would give it a really good, a 6.
Yeah.
And gruesome, gore.
Yeah, overall, it was just a great.
Yes,
great
it was a great movie, great film.
And this next topic actually kind of is part of 2012, part of 2013. It ended in 2012, halfway through the season.
Yes.
And it's picking back up.
February.
And obviously, I'm sure they all know by now, we're talking about The Walking
Dead.
Season 3.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
so excited.
we're gonna be talking about The Walking Dead a lot because that is.
They actually put out a video for the game that's coming out.
Which one game of the year?
Yes, the Telltale series actually won Game of the Year. If you haven't checked out this game,
Do it.
It's on the Xbox Marketplace.
It's even on the iPad, the iPhone. Pretty sure
it's on disc now. It's for the PlayStation 3.
It's everywhere. I mean, it's worth it.
This game is worth Game of the Year in a heartbeat. But they also put out some images and video for the game Survival Instinct, where you play as Daryl and you're with Merle and before Atlanta. I mean, it's since Merle and Daryl weren't in the comic book, Robert Kirkman got with the studio and they wanted to really cover the story of how they really got with the group. So I'm really excited about that also. But with the Telltale game series, they're on disc also. It's on disc on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, Wii, and almost every system you can basically think of. But they come in episodes, and there's 5 episodes, and this is season 1 of the game series, and it's nothing to do with the TV show. It's a completely different story. It's more to the comic book. It's comic book driven, but it's equally as great, and I really recommend it. I give it on Hatchet wise, I would give it a 10.
Yeah,
The Walking Dead Telltale series game.
Loving it. And even though it has strayed from the comic, I mean, it's not exactly how the comics played out.
Yeah, and you actually...
But, I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean...
Oh, yeah, of course. And with the show coming in February, finishing the season, I'm so excited. There's so much to get to see what happens to Daryl and Merle and see how that plays out in the pit and actually see, hopefully, they survive. Hopefully Daryl survives an ordeal.
Yeah.
And to see how they get away, and I really want to see the wrath of the governor, And the governor is really becoming a really big character too, He's really hated in the comic book series, and he's really hated on the show, but there's actually a book that Robert Kirkman actually wrote called Rise of the Governor, and I definitely think this is crucial to read if you love this TV series, because this just shows how they got to Atlanta and how they established Woodbury. And if you're a definite fan of the series, check it out on hardcover and softcover. It's The Walking Dead: Rise of the Governor, and I definitely recommend this book. And Hatchet points, I would give it also a 10.
And we'll throw that link up there.
Yes,
for everyone to check that out.
And there's also another book, Walking Dead book, called Road to Woodbury, and it's actually, I haven't started reading it yet, but I'm really excited to actually finish the Rise of the Governor so I can actually start this one also. But definitely check out Rise of the Governor and check out Road to Woodbury if you happen to get it today.
So, a couple movies that we're looking forward to in 2013. First off, Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. Yes, I'm very excited about this. Have you actually seen the original Dead?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer for this movie yet? What would you think?
Exactly.
It really I'm excited about it, but I'm really scared. But I read somewhere that Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi actually loved it and said it was actually a great remake, and it's just really time can tell. But I really think if they said it's good, then I really have high hopes for it. Really, really high hopes.
It's just one of those things that you don't want to fail,
Yeah, exactly. And there's what other movies World War Z.
Yeah, World War Z with Brad Pitt.
Yes, and as I recall, that is a Mel Brooks book.
Mel Brooks.
I mean, his son's name is Max Brooks.
Max Brooks.
Max Brooks book.
That's a tongue twister right there,
yes.
man.
But I also haven't read this one, but I've heard great things about it. But
yeah, he was actually on this. I can't remember what season it was. It was season finale of Deadliest Warrior, where they had
really?
the zombies versus vampires.
Oh.
He was actually one of the people there for the zombie team.
Yeah. He also wrote the Zombie Survival Guide, and I love this book. I love it.
It's awesome.
I have to get me another copy because mine disappeared somewhere. But
yeah, I think I let someone borrow mine for a short film we were doing. And I haven't seen it in a
yes,
while.
and if you really want a great, entertaining book, and also very, very smart book, check out the Zombie Survival Guide by Max Brooks. It's very great, and it's if all your zombie survival needs. I mean, anything you can think of, honestly, can be answered in this book on terms of survival in the zombie apocalypse.
And hey, man, dude, we've already been going for 31 minutes.
Awesome.
That flew by pretty quickly.
Yes, it did.
Well, I'm thinking now would be a good time to
wrap it up.
Give this episode a slash.
Yes, definitely.
So, as always, I'm Tyler.
I'm Tyler Schumacher also.
And I'm not Tyler Schumacher. I'm just Tyler. You said Tyler Schumacher also.
Oh, my bad.
We'll just call him Tyler and we'll just call me Suggs. How about that one?
Yes.
We'll just go there.
I don't know why I said also. It's just weird.
I think Mr. Suggs here passed out on us. I think he got tired of us talking.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But until next time, we'll see you then.
All right, see you guys.